Hello and welcome everyone to this episode of Kaksha Gupshup, and today we are interviewing Mr. Pritam Dhalla. So Pritam actually is our senior and not an alumni. So you might be wondering why a senior and not an alumni this time. So that will get answered eventually. So we'll let Pritam answer all these questions. But let me just introduce Pritam first. So Pritam is a student of biotechnology, and his work experience consists of being an incubatee in TBI as well as an research associate. He has co-founded a startup known as Larkai Healthcare. So before even getting into the interview, let's just see what Larkai is.
We, a group of 17 enthusiastic individuals aiming towards making the planet a easier place to survive on by the use of new kinds of technology. Our team works on different software applications, reviving the human brain. We at Larkai have the brightest minds who rapidly prototype concepts to device. We strive to crack the most complex codes known to humankind and provide a more refined approach towards solving problems using elegant solutions. Our tech team, along with the designing team, works on various platforms, trying to create new things at an infinite loop. Our research team works hand in hand to dig out all the information accessible. Stay tuned for more such technological devices which are coming up. This is just the beginning. Team Larkai, where technology meets creativity.
So, Pritam, let's just get into the interview. But before getting into that, people might be wondering why we are interviewing a senior rather than an alumni this time. So, if you might be kind enough to tell them who you are and what your work experience is.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words and the interview. Already you have introduced me properly. Okay, and I'm a KIIT Biotech pass out at like 2018 batch, and I went Delhi for my like to gain the experience in startup, how startup works, and how things are executed, and so that I can implement those things in my startup as well. And just came back last year and start my own Larkai. And I don't know what I've done till much, but I think I am a person who has lost in the pace of uncertainty, and now just have found a little light of hope, and here to tell you the story of finding hope only.
Right. So, what is Lakia? What does Lakia do, and what was the startup idea that you actually turned into from just an idea to a product and then to a proper startup in which TBI actually invested?
Larka is a medical device manufacturing company working on some early diagnosis devices. And Larka was in my mind since my second year of college days, and actually that time I was working on the same project that now we are building up, right? But obviously there are some modification in base, and the thing was more basic from then actually. And then I went Delhi as I told, because I need some experience in startup, how they are executed and all. And then when I feel it's the right time to start my own, then I quit the job and came back in Bhubaneswar. And at that time, TBA played a big role actually. Now and even now also they are supporting me a lot. TBI is for pursuing, nurturing, and translating ideas into enterprises. People have technology driven idea that can be converted into business, can be incubated in TBI, right? And I had my idea on the hard devices, and they actually impressed with the business model and the uniqueness of the product, and the things happen, and they supported a lot, and now the like is right now in front of you guys.
Right. Okay, so before getting more into what products Larkai has and what all it offers and everything, before that, a very basic question is about TBI. What is it? A lot of people have heard the term TBI throughout the college and not even got a gist of it, not even have been to that building where TBI is, and maybe even the people who get new admissions into KIT, they also hear that KIT has a TBI, and then eventually no, everyone gets involved in academics and nobody thinks of it that much. So if you might be kind enough to explain what TBI does and what does getting incubated means into TBI.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I told in my last answer also the bit of things. TBI is for as I told, ki pursuing, nurturing, and translating ideas to enterprises. People have technology-driven idea that can be converted into business, can be incubated in TBI. There are some stages you need to pass through, like showing the technology USP and viability or feasibility of the idea or product. And this is the criteria of being incubated in TBI. Mainly, the technology-driven idea should have the business potential, can be incubated in TBI, and there are no age limit or time limit or any year limit like second year, first year. Anyone can apply who has the innovative idea, and TBI is ready to and happy to support you. As per my experiences.
Right. So TBI is basically kids Shark Tank, personal Shark Tank.
Yeah, actually, people
Okay.
should use it more like morely, you know.
Right. Right. So yeah, now let's get into more into Larkai, a little bit about Larkai. What are the main projects that Larkai works into? We heard that Larkai is working towards early stages of diagnosis in healthcare, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what is this business model and what are the main products that Larkai builds for early
Okay. See, we are currently working on several projects, but main is the device for heart disease diagnosis. It would detect heart abnormalities at an early stage, placing the device on your chest for 15 seconds only. And there are other devices also, like we are working on some asthma-based cap and some osteoarthritis determination device. And these are in all are in R&D stage, but our cardiac device are in like clinical trial stage. And as per the business model, see, the main motto of Larka is to provide affordable healthcare diagnosis at an early stage, even if at the rural or semi-urban settings where there is a lack of trained medical professional. So the model would be mainly rental or SaaS model, you can say.
Right, right. Okay. So, what I heard from this answer is that a lot of it is based off research work, right? A lot of things you guys are still researching, like in the asthma thing that you told us about. So, means in engineering or something like that, when we talk about research, it's basically that we take some ideas and then we work on that idea in terms of actually going ahead and building that product. But when we talk about when we talk about field of medicine and biotechnology, what does research translate into those terms?
Okay. Uh, Actually, biotech, biotech is a vast area. There are so many streams in biotech, like food technology, cancer research, biomedical engineering, nanoscience, plant biology. Like there's so many things, and it's a huge area to explore. And personally, I was a biotech guy. I was actually it was actually very fascinating to work on molecular level. We actually worked on origin of life, DNA, RNA. You must be known it. Okay, so it's a lifetime experience, you can say. And if you know the basic of the biology and medical, you can implement, you can find out the problem from them, and you can easily find the solution, and that can be innovative, and that can be translated into business. So this is the main thing which I have found from my like biotech career. And that's why, like, you can say Larka is taken actually.
Right, right. So the latter part of the name of the startup, Lark AI, is actually AI, right? So how does Lark AI integrate medical technology as well as the artificial intelligence part of it together? Means what things are there that you actually integrate, and what are the things that you still don't feel like we shouldn't rely on artificial intelligence for this part of the technology that we are building?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question actually. We're actually working on medical data, like mainly medical signals like ECG, sound, heart sound signal, and extracting the feature of the signal and making some AI and ML model that can predict the desired output. Right, this is the main intention and motto of our like device, and you can say the Larkai devices. Right, for early detection, AI and ML model is definitely a game changer as we have implemented so far. And the main challenges we have faced key there's a shortage of proper data, because when you are working on some medical data, there are some sort of strict regulation involved. So depending on the patient availability, the number of standard data shortage is the main challenge, and this actually stops your innovation growth and the time maybe.
Right, right. So I'm guessing that a lot of the part where you can get that medical data, you rely on working with this data. But how much is it reliable in terms that it gives you proper accuracy, or maybe sometimes for example, since it's early diagnostics, so let's just say that you diagnose a patient with something that there is not. Like for example, if a person is having an heart attack and you
Yeah,
diagnose it as heart attack, so it's good. But if the person is
yeah.
not having a heart attack, you still diagnose that he's having a heart attack. So
Mm.
that's not that bad actually. But if a person is actually having an heart attack, and if you
Mm.
detected that he isn't, then it can be
Yeah,
fatal, right? So how do you
yeah,
tackle
yeah.
all these risks through your product?
Yeah, see, actually, the main thing is ki, we are targeting the early stage diagnosis. Mean before going to the serious clinical evaluation, our device can analyze your stage of abnormality of normality, right? And what happens? People having a heart disease can only be avoided after the serious attack happens, right? And the main problem is there is no such devices which is affordable or feasible to use for the common people. So our product would give that initial or early support and give an idea if there is a serious problem is happening or not specifically. And early stage diagnosis, if it gives 95 to 95.8% accuracy, then it would be impactful and can save many lives. And as for the technology concern, as you were saying, if any false negative shows, this is the actually moreover the trading part we are actually working on, and some rule based algorithm is also implemented. So the 95 to 98% accuracy would be like if not a big issue for our case.
Right, actually. Yeah. So we have talked quite a bit about the Larkai, means the innovation and the idea and all these things. Let's shift a little towards the startup part of it. So I know that you started Larkai, means the idea of Larkai started when you were in second year itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So in first year we are getting I'm talking with my personal experience. In first year I was getting accustomed to it. In second year I started hearing that you need to get job, you need to get good job, you need to get good grades. While all these things are going on with others, how did you start to think about a startup like hey, I'll do this, I have this proper idea, I'll pitch in with PBI and all these things? How did you walk this path starting from your?
Uh, this is a very like a good question. I would like to answer, and this is the main issue you can say faced everyone like who are in like college, like, you're admitting in college and other things. Okay, so so what to say that the main thing is ki you should be clear enough what you are actually wanting from your life, right? Because there are obviously there are peer pressure from our parents, some surroundings, and job and engineering, doctor, professor, lawyer kind of things, right? But ultimately, if your vision is clear now, you can connect the dots easily, and your mind is so focused, then you can crack anything. And the main problem is that at your early stage, first year, second year, you can get that much of confidence on you. I will do that, but you need support that time. But the problem is, again, the problem is ki there were no one to support you at that stage when you were in college, first year and second year, right? And I obviously I faced a lot of lot of this kind of thing. Faculty sometimes says ki you can't do it, and you should shift to the other thing, okay? And even parents need some confidence to like what I'm doing right now, because monetary support is the big thing. And monetary support, security, or settlement, everything is the main criteria, right? That's why I actually start like taking the student from second year, because I know there are there are no one to guide them in a proper track. And because they have a lot of potential, if you nurture them, na, they can do anything. Even you can also experience a lot ki people from second year, third year have the proper knowledge. If not ki you need the degree to qualify that stage, right? So this is the these are mind mental feedback that the society and system already created inside out. So this is the main,
Right.
like you can say, feedbacks and superstition, whatever.
Yeah. So those are kind of the setbacks that you face through people. But in technical terms, like when you were starting with the idea, when you got this idea in place and you started to pitch in and everything, there might be some technical problems that you faced as a startup. Like you might have had something like the product is not working, or maybe like the team is not sufficient. You need more capacity in the team and all these things. So what are some basic problems that a startup faces when it is in early stage, and when it is in latter stages, how are these problems resolved, and what are the other problems that you face in the latter stages?
Yeah, this is also a very good challenge that I faced in my early stage, because when I was in second year, third year, and fourth year, you can say, I was from biotech, right? I don't know that much coding and electronics part, okay, and I can convince anyone to do it for myself, right? Because that time I was a student, and I have not achieved anything to show them or to prove them, right? This is the main thing that I faced. That's why I'm taking the student from second third year and giving a training to them, so that they would get a proper environment of every sector. Like we have electronics team, we have software coding team, we have digital marketing team, we have content. Everything is there. So when a student is coming or entering in our Larkai family, you can say, they are getting all the opportunity available, right? And they can explore everything. If they have any sort of idea, they can implement them that easily, and to our youngster. And that would help them to grow their like potential, and grow their mentality, to their skill, everything. So and whatever I faced, how I resolved this is the biggest question, because that's why I went to Delhi and guru and kind of support. And I came back. Then I found there are some people who are actually expert and who can rely on me. Okay, because I was about to start my own. Then the things are normal. But initial days for early, like second and third year, it was a bit difficult for me. And I don't want to make the thing difficult for my people, like who are in intern right now.
Right, right. So, would you consider that Larkai is now on a stage where you can say that Larkai is properly settled, and now means in starting you have a different focus, right? You have a focus like you want to settle the startup first, then you want to get it at least to a point where you have started doing whatever you want to achieve, means in basic terms. And after that, once you have crossed that mark, then you can focus on building new ideas and experimenting a little, and not just going a straight path and keeping a straight head. So would you consider that Lark AI is on that track now?
See, this kind of thing, I don't believe ki we need to settle first, and then we should experiment, right? My belief is ki you should experiment whatever you were thinking, and and somehow that would connect everything. Like as I told, my favorite code is like connect the dots, and this actually happens when you experiment throughout the throughout every sector, like in software development, in hardware development, and in digital marketing, network building. Everything is interlinked, and you need to experiment in a very early stage, then you can get the total scenario of what is going on around you, like the product, how product is building up, and what is the feedback that are facing, and in digital marketing and network building, what are the feedback. So if you get the clear concept at an early stage of your startup, then it's very easy to strategize in future. But if you first trying to establish your product or whatever, then it's a bit late for you to understand the market, the people who are the customer of you. So that part we don't do this this kind of things. We just we do experiment in each and every day, starting from our like product development to our digital marketing to network building. And that's why in during these 5 months we have reached a lot of people and achieved a bit, I can say.
Right, right. So, means what you initially started for Larkai with, right? Like the early diagnostic products and all these things. Is Larkai expanding to other sectors, or maybe expanding more in medical sector only in terms of like other diagnostic products or other ideas that you are currently experimenting with? Is there something going on like that?
Yeah, actually, cardiac product is our main product, but there are so many products. Like already we have 3 or 4 products in our pipeline, and R&D works are going on there. There are one asthma related cap that we are manufacturing in a cheaper cost, and there is some arthritis determination device or band, you can say, we're working on. And also we have a app named Tenfin Healthcare that can assemble your medical community, like doctor, nurse, fitness freak, cook, healthy cooking guy, and all. So the platform we are actually providing to the all healthcare sector. And in a path we need we need to build Larkai as a like more trendy and cool in healthcare sector, right? Because sometimes healthcare sector is a bit boring, there is no such opportunity to explore the things, and we are trying this to cover up. Okay, and recently we are actually organizing some event, also even some trekking event, like where Red Bull and other companies are sponsoring, and we are as a healthcare partner joining with them, and for trekking campaigning we are supporting them a lot. So these are, I think, it's a vast area. We need to explore more things, and not only healthcare means not your health only, like everything, like mental health, fitness, everything is there, right? So we are exploring all the things.
Right. Right. So it quite feels like you have a vision for a good, healthy ecosystem
Yeah,
through
yeah,
your Latte, right? So
yeah.
yeah. So if you would be kind enough to tell us the future vision that Latte has right now, so that something that you might have in mind that you want to get this done till in maybe 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, whatever. I don't know what the terminology is or what the timeline is for that.
Hmm. Yeah, actually, the vision is to connect the each and every dots in health, disease diagnosis sector to provide an affordable and feasible healthcare support, right? And to me, Larkai would introduce a new concept in healthcare sector, that healthcare companies can be more trendy and cool. It would give a great platform to doctors who are generally not celebrated in India like currently, right? This is the main motto of mine. And obviously, there are some myths that I want to break throughout the journey. And this is the main thing.
You already have actually quite a lot of messages. Second year doing
Yeah.
startup and all these things. Yeah. So yeah, quite a good journey for you as well. So I guess we are done with all the questions that I had for you, and it was actually a great pleasure talking to you. And before even getting this finished, I'd like to just say that Pritam has been very kind enough to do this again. Actually, we had an interview, and it we ran into some problem, and Pritam said that okay, we'll do this again. So it's really kind of you too for doing this again. So thanks a lot,
Thanks a
and
lot, yeah. Thanks.
yeah,
Actually, you guys are doing so good thing. Like this is a good initiative from you guys, but very very appreciable. Matlab, very good actually. You should carry on, and I would like to say all the audience ki just go like, go watch, share, subscribe, and all the things to make them like success, right?
Thank you. So, before getting this finished, would you like to tell the audience if they want to join Larkai, if they want to work with Larkai on some idea with you? So, how can they reach you out?
Uh, actually, actually, we are looking for the people to join in our journey. Okay, so not an if someone have the dedication in work and some actually zeal or passion inside them to translate into some business or innovation kind of thing, that is the necessary right now. You can directly reach to me or drop a mail or message to me, and obviously we'll reply back you soon as possible. Not an issue. We're open to take the good minds.
Okay. So I guess that covers a lot of the questions that all of us have in mind when thinking of startup and when thinking of how to translate an idea to a product and what all things we face throughout this journey. And along with that, having a degree in hand, right? So yeah, that's a good thing. And it's actually motivational to see that our seniors are doing such a great job and have a clear vision that it's sometimes like there's some idea in your head and it gets easy and then you just let the idea be, but actually going ahead and translating into an actual product, an actual startup, that's a hands-off job. So thank you, Pritam, for being with us. It was a great pleasure interviewing you, and it was very kind enough for you to give your time to us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot again, and you guys are doing fabulous job, and I would support you a lot. Anytime reach me, it will be pleasure for me. And just I want to say to you all in the audience, the most beautiful and attractive thing is your passion. Do whatever passion you have and act to impact positively. This is the main. This should be the main motto of your life, right? And just go and bang on. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.